Alright guys, here we go. I know guys, here I am. I haven't been around for a while. We've been working really hard on getting some footage, but to say the least, there's a whole lot of hunting going on and not a whole lot of shooting. So what do I want to talk about tonight? Well, that's pretty simple. I want to talk about what to do after the shot. A lot of things can go wrong after the shot, whether it's a bad shot, you hit a branch, or that all-important adrenaline and excitement that goes on after the shot. A whole lot can go wrong. So let's go through this step by step and what we should do so that way we don't mess up any recovery. Here we go. You're in your tree stand, you're on the ground blind, or you're just on the ground. First things first, always mark where you are. Now, that's as simple as putting an X on the ground or hanging some ribbon where you were standing, or pinning on your phone your tent blind or your tree stand. Now I know that sounds silly because you've hunted out of it all this time, but at night when you got to come back in with either a dog or with a bunch of buddies to help you find that deer, it will help you find your shot site. Okay? So, next thing, from your tree stand or where you've been hunting on the ground, take a picture with your phone of exactly, at the moment after the deer runs off, take a picture of where that deer was standing. If you wait too long, you'll forget and things will look different to you. Take a picture immediately after the shot of where he was standing. Sounds silly, I know it's taking up time, you're going to be all wound up, but just take a deep breath, calm down, and do that. It's going to help you when you go to look for your arrow or look for that blood at the place of impact. You can refer back to your phone, the picture, and know that he was standing by a stump or a tree or a funny colored leaf. You'll see that in the picture. Always do that. So, now that you've found your impact site and you've pinned that on there, because once you find your tree stand, that's one thing. But then when you get your tracking dog team in or your buddies and you can't find that point of impact because you haven't marked it, can be pretty embarrassing, and it can take a lot of time away from recovering that deer. So, what do I use? Visually, toilet paper works great, and we all carry it in our backpacks. I mean, for unforeseen circumstances, we always have this. It's biodegradable, you hang it up on the tree, it doesn't have to go anywhere. Once it's hung, the rain will take care of it, it dissolves, it's gone. That's one way to go about it. Another way is woodsman's tape, okay, or forester's tape. This stuff works really good. Just remember, if you can help it, go back and pull this stuff down in case there's somebody in there surveying. They don't think that they've got all kinds of stuff hanging all over the place. And if you're on private property, it just is a better idea to take this stuff down so the landowner doesn't get mad that it's hanging all over his trees. So this stuff it's pretty cheap to pick up. You can get it almost at any store. Grab it, put it in your backpack. This takes up no room. Toilet paper takes up a little bit more, but that's kind of a necessity. So, most of us when we're bow hunting, we're hunting in the evening. It gets dark pretty quick. Most of the time those deer are coming in right on that edge of light, right? So now what are you going to do? You're going along and you're finding the blood. You can get some of these. These things are great and they're cheap. Look at that awesome price right there. Look at that. $3. Incredible, right? 10 of them in a pack. They're really small, they pack well, and they've got little hooks on them so you can hang them from a branch. Shake them, crack them, they light up. Put one every couple 100 feet as you're going along or at every drop of blood. You'll be able to find those really easy in the dark if you have to come back in and with a tracking dog team or with your buddies. This is a lifesaver. They're really, really cheap, and it's just a no-brainer, right? So, and remember, once again, go back and grab those when you have your chance, all right? So, in my pack, one of the things that is a necessity in everybody's pack other than toilet paper is good quality lights. We have some pretty decent flashlights here. This one's called an Attack. This thing is so bright, you can like light up the woods with it. It's like daytime. Fairly inexpensive. It's not like some of those lights that you see that are hundreds of dollars. These are cheap. You can pick them up at any of the box stores. Not only that, but a good headlamp. These things are a necessity. You carry a couple extra batteries. This one here takes AAAs. They don't take up any room in your backpack, and this sucker is bright. It'll pick up. Watch this. Woo! Like I said, it's bright. That's the kind of thing you need out there to be watching the ground and picking up tiny specks of blood. The brighter the light, the easier it is to pick it up. Some people have asked me about those blood tracking lights. I don't have a whole lot of luck with those. They're not quite bright enough. I guess if you've got a ton of blood, they work. I've never had a whole lot of luck with them. I just go with a bright light and keep my eyes to the ground. Sometimes I'm on my hands and knees if I have to be. Anyways, so now that we've covered the equipment that we need and what we use to mark our trails, let's talk about tracking dog teams. Now, let's say you've lost your blood. You can kind of go out in a spider web pattern to look, go out 50 yards, come back, go out another way 50 yards, come back, but don't make grid searches and don't go back and forth in circles and everything else if you're intending to bring out a dog team, because that's going to take up valuable time for that dog to have to figure out your track, because now once you've walked all over that bloodied section, the dog is going to be following that blood and the scent that you're picking up and tracking everywhere. She's got to figure out that mess, or he. So don't do that. Just kind of goes out in your spider web patterns and be honest with your tracking team and tell them where you actually went, because that will help them get out of that search area and get on the trail to your deer. That's how we like to work it. Now, I know sometimes it's tough when you got some buddies and they start getting crazy on you. Reel them in. Keep them under control. If you're going to have to bring in a dog team, you want to leave as little mess as possible for that dog to figure out. So, flashlights, toilet paper, ribbon, mark your spot, pin it on your phone. Make sure you can get back to your point of impact. You don't want to be embarrassed trying to find some place in the middle of the dark to bring in a tracking team and not be able to find it. If you think you need a dog tracking team, do not go back out if you've called him. He may be halfway through his trip to come to you when you call him and tell him, oh, we found the deer. And that's just rude, because now he's given up his valuable time to come and help you, and you've taken that time away from him. So, just back out of the woods, take a break, get a drink, have something to eat, wait for your tracking team, they'll come in. If it's your buddies, how would your buddies feel if you did that to them? And they're halfway through an hour's trip to come to help you out, and you call them and say, oh, never mind. They'll probably come up there and pee in your beer or something. All right, guys, hopefully that this information on equipment, on things to use to track with, on what to do after the shot will help you recover your buck or doe that you get this year. So good luck, get out there, spend some time in the woods, get on that big one, and get him. All right, thanks a lot, guys. Talk to you later.